Greetings from the dank basement, everybody. This is your wicked Uncle Squinty. This is my 4th attempt at trying to do this review. So my nose is getting full of this Temptation, made by Dholakia, chocolate orange snuff. I'm not taking pinch after pinch after pinch of this because I enjoy it. Frankly, I don't. But we'll talk a little bit about that during this review. First of all, I'd like to talk about chocolate orange snuffs in general. I have reviewed 2 others on this channel before because I love the flavor of a good chocolate orange candy, a Terry's chocolate orange or a Brock's orange stick or something like that. Chocolate and orange work beautifully together as a candy taste, and I like it. It's one of my favorite flavors in candy, so I have very high expectations when I open a snuff that is supposed to be the scent of that Terry's chocolate orange or that Brock's orange stick candy. And a couple of them are very good. The Paul Goddard chocolate orange is stellar to my tastes, as is the Samuel Gawith chocolate orange. Very good. The Wilsons of Sharrow, pretty good. This, on the other hand, not so much. But we'll talk about why I feel that way. The next thing I'd like to comment on, and this is directed directly at Dholakia. What you folks do, and have done for centuries it seems, is very good. You make a really good range of snuffs. But when you adopted the McDonald's McNugget marketing model, that is the model where you gain more customers by introducing more and more and more products to your range to keep people interested. When you made that move, you should have been better prepared for the tastes of the market that you were aiming these towards. And I'm afraid you didn't. My guess is some fast-talking, self-proclaimed marketing expert with an interest in snuff probably met with Dholakia, did a bunch of very clever presentations with PowerPoint, and convinced them that they needed to add 5 new ranges to their Dholakia line. So they did. They added Temptation, Blast, Wow, Foobar, and She. These are all separate ranges supposedly being marketed at different target groups of consumers. And I'm sorry, guys, but largely you're not doing terribly well with these as far as the quality, at least to my tastes, with these snuffs. I love Ganga. I love Mongol. The Swiss chocolate, you can't find a better chocolate snuff, Dholakia. That stuff is all wonderful. These sub-ranges, sub-lines that you're pushing, I have been 80% disappointed in pretty much everything I've tried. The Foobar line has a couple of good ones. I will, again, order the R&R from Foobar. I like it. It's a good apricot snuff. The Foobar Grunt is nice. The Snafu is nice. But some of the rest of the Foobar line just sucks. It's not that it's a macho, manly, warmonger snuff. It's just not good. The Wow flavors, which are supposed to be fancy dessert flavors. There's one good one that I've tried. That's the apple pie. But the rest, not so much. The Temptation line, candy, fruit flavors, has been largely disappointing with one brilliant exception, which is the Grape Concord. I have never tried the She line. It is marketed to women, which I think, if I were female, would be an insult. They are not substantially different, from what I understand, than anything else Dholakia sells. So it's obviously a ploy and not a real different line for women. And the Blast, which are supposed to be the alcohol-based flavors, the whiskeys, the champagne, and so on, largely disappointing, not good. Just plain not good. They all suffer from under-scenting, in my estimation. But let's talk about this one in particular. Now, as I said, I've got high expectations of a chocolate orange snuff because I've had a couple of good ones. This is finely ground, and it is not terribly moist, even though this is a very, very fresh container. Yeah, it's got some of that chocolate orange smell to it, at least in the tub. You can get a little, excuse me, got a little itch there. You can get that scent of the chocolate orange from this. The problem for me comes when you actually take a pinch. So here's our apple seed size pinch. It is not clumping. It is not staying together between my fingers easily. It is drier than I would like. This is not a beginner snuff, guys. I'm sorry. It's just, if you have some experience taking snuff, this will be okay to take. You won't choke on it. If you're a beginner, you're going to be gagging on this just because you're going to suck it to the back of your throat. All right, first blast. I get the Dholakia characteristic Indian tobacco flour, F-L-O-U-R, like flour you bake bread with. I get the characteristic Dholakia scent. It's dusty, it's farmy, barnyardy, I've heard it described as, although not shitty smelling. There's no scent of manure. But it does smell rustic. It smells of earth and hay, and it's a very pleasant base tobacco scent. I love Dholakia's base tobacco. I have really come to appreciate the Indian base tobacco flowers from 6 Photo, 5 Photo, and these guys from Dholakia. I really like it. And that is what you smell when you first take this supposedly chocolate orange yummy candy snuff. You're getting that base tobacco scent pretty strong. The chocolate orange is more of a suggestion or a hint than an actual scent, an overriding scent. It's there. In fact, the longer you leave it in the nose, you get a little more of it, a little more of it. It is still not as present as the chocolate orange scent you'll find, for instance, in the Paul Goddard. As far as which one I would recommend to a beginner who loves the scent of that Terry's chocolate orange or that Brock's orange stick candy, I would recommend the Paul Goddard over this, and I would recommend the Paul Goddard over the Samuel Gawith chocolate orange that I've reviewed elsewhere, and I would choose both of those before the Wilsons. And this little sucker, this Temptation chocolate orange, would be at the bottom of the list as far as chocolate orange scented snuffs. On its own merits, it's a good snuff, but if you're looking for the actual chocolate orange experience, again, that Terry's chocolate orange, this isn't really going to do it for you. Add to that it's a little bit too finely ground and a little bit too dry for beginners to truly enjoy without doing a little choking and wheezing and gasping over this. And again, if you don't like that base tobacco scent from Indian snuffs, you're not going to enjoy this because that scent is definitely there. On the Squinty scale, where 1 is horrendous and 5 is pretty damn good, this is a 2.5. And as a beginner snuff, it's a 1.5. As an expert snuff, it's a 3.5. As a chocolate orange snuff, it's a 1. As a generally okay snuff, it's like a 4. I mean, I wouldn't throw this tin away. I'll come back to it. I'll use this. But I think I may save this as a blending snuff for another orange or another chocolate, something to give me just a little more scent than what this provides, which really isn't much. I don't want to sound cynical, and I know Dholakia is trying very hard to survive in what is essentially a very small marketplace for nasal snuffs. And I salute them for their creativity. However, I'm sorry, gentlemen, you need to do a better job. If you're going to be marketing to me, the American consumer, you're going to have to refine these snuffs a little bit, add a little more scent, make them a little bit easier to insufflate, maybe not sieve them or grind them quite as much, make them a little easier to take. Maybe rethink the entire process of making snuff if you're aiming it strictly at us Yankees, or our Canadian friends to the north, or even our British friends. You might want to do a little bit more testing with your target consumers before releasing 5 new lines of snuff. I really suspect it was some marketing guy from the United States, some fast talker, that went over there and got paid a lot of money for a bunch of PowerPoint presentations suggesting how Dholakia could quadruple their income by aiming snuff at the burgeoning American, British, and Canadian markets. And I think they kind of stopped there. They came up with a couple of ideas, a couple of concepts, a couple of labels, and then ran with it. I don't think that was smart, because now you're stuck with probably 40 different snuffs, none of which are even close to the quality of your Swiss chocolate under the Dholakia brand, or some of your other great snuffs. I will be reviewing another Dholakia as I'm sitting here, and that will be the Sparrow Cool. That's coming up in the next video. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's up to you. I wouldn't spend the money if it were me. I wouldn't buy this again. I'm not going to throw this tin away. I'll keep using it. I'll go back to it. But it's not going to be an everyday snuff for me. And it certainly isn't going to be a first choice. From the dank basement, your wicked Uncle Squinty thanks you for watching. Keep on snorting that snuff. And if you're a dipper, keep that mud jug handy. That's so beautiful. I love to watch that diarrhea drool coming off your lip into the freaking mud jug. It's so beautiful, man. Beautiful.